In this video, we're going to cover how I closed 54 new AI clients so you could just copy me. And before anybody asks, here's the screenshot. So as you can see, in April 2025, I closed 2 the month before. This is towards the end of the month, but in April, I closed 54 new clients. And most people watching this right now are mentally frying their dopamine on how-tos on scaling up your AI agency instead of actually taking real action. In this video, I'm going to break down how I was able to do this as a one-person team, but 85% of you probably won't make it to the end, and that's why you're stuck in the same place or chasing the next shiny object. Here's the truth behind the AI agency. Selling AI doesn't magically land you more clients. Having more inputs actually does. The goal of AI is to supercharge an agency's workflow. So instead of hiring team members to fulfill or do operational stuff, you can get AI to do it. And this saves you time and money, and your clients will be able to do the same. Now let's talk about the inputs necessary to actually land 54 clients like I did my first month selling AI. Number 1 is a good no-brainer offer, basically a sexy label that marketers use. Number 2 is generating leads, and that's all you need for the inputs. Now let's get into what my offer was when I closed 54 new clients. So this is my AI SEO software. And this is all proprietary software that we did because I have a background in tech, and then now I have a big team of developers that's coding out this tool. So essentially what it does is it basically automates all of the Google Business Profile Management for local businesses. Because 90% of all traffic goes to Google Business Profile, we want to rank them number 1 on not only Google, but also on AI search. So the sexy label, whenever my offer came out, was I'll be able to rank them number 1 on ChatGPT, on Claude, on Gemini, on Perplexity, on all sorts of different LLMs. And behind all of this is traditional SEO is what actually ranks them. And with LLMs and ChatGPT, all of those AI LLMs is going to pull from traditional SEO. So if we're able to rank them in the top 3 in the map pack for local SEO, they're going to rank on all the LLMs as well. So if you want, you could go ahead and check out a link in the description. You can basically white label us and just use us to fulfill for your clients, and you can basically have the same offer as us. So number 1, the offer is ranked number 1 on Google and AI search. The pricing that we did is anywhere between $297 or $497 a month. However, to liquidate more ad spend, especially if you're Chad ramming through Facebook ads, you need to be collecting a lot of money upfront. So what we did in the beginning, just to prove that the offer works and how I closed 54 clients, was I just collected monthly payments. However, to really supercharge this growth, my second month, what I did, I'll start out with a 12-month contract and now drop it to 6 months, 3 months, and then 1 month worst case scenario. And that way, I have the ability to basically liquidate all of 3 or 4 months of ad spend just with 1 yearly PIF. And that's what you really need to do to supercharge your systems, or if you're in a cash grab in the beginning. And as Hormozi says, the reason why we charge a lower ticket than traditional AI clients is because Hormozi once mentioned, and I've seen it time and time again when I was running my Facebook ads agency for pool builders. And Hormozi, and I've never seen an agency serving SMBs, small, medium businesses, scale to $10 million plus per year doing mid-market pricing. So this is anywhere from $2K to $10K. And it's either low ticket, productized, automated with AIs and VAs, anywhere from $497 a month or even lower, or super enterprise growth partners where you're basically getting $15K plus per month retainers. And this is more of a growth partner. So you're going to have a few clients, or you have a productized service where you have hundreds of lower ticket clients. And that's how you really scale in the agency game. And the fulfillment on our side is basically automated with 2 to 3 minutes of work per client in the beginning. The biggest thing I see a lot of people do is they have a lot of offers that they're pitching on clients. Number 1 is going to give your clients and the lead decision fatigue. And number 2, it's going to make you an operational nightmare. In the beginning, what you really need to focus on is having one solid offer, which for us is the AI SEO offer. And you can also just white label us to have the same offer. And after that, you basically scale that up. And down the line, once you have buyers instead of leads, because leads are very cold. Buyers, if this is your warm network that's already worked with you in the past. So with those buyers, you could ascend them into more and more services. For example, Facebook ads, Google ads. Even the first month, we closed at $15K per year Facebook ads client just because they came in for the low ticket, basically $497 a month, and then they ascended into the high ticket. So that's what you really need to do, especially in the age that we are today with the trust recession. You need to get as many buyers as possible so that way you can ascend them down the value ladder, end up paying more and more. Because the biggest thing is your CAC when you're running Facebook ads can, best case scenario, go to zero. However, your LTV can always scale to infinity. So how do we make more LTV? We make more LTV by basically collecting more cash from our clients, but also delivering more value to our clients and upselling them on more and more services. Next, let's talk about generating leads. So a lot of people wonder why they don't have any clients, and yet they have zero sales conversations on a daily basis. They literally have nobody on the pipeline. They have nobody on the calendar. They're not talking to any leads. And even when they do get leads, they have no speed to action and they wait for them to book onto a calendar. And that's why, for the most part, a lot of agencies are stuck. They're either stuck on referrals or they're stuck just not taking action. The biggest thing is if I know from my numbers that out of every 1,000 leads, I'm going to close 10 of them, I'm going to generate thousands of leads and then backtrack on what I need to do to hit the revenues of my dream. And a lot of people, they have zero leads and they're worried about fulfillment side, when in reality, they have talked to zero people in their network. They've talked to zero cold traffic leads. They don't even have a way to generate traffic. So for you, there's no way you'll be able to close 54 clients in the first month if you have no way to actually get in front of the buyers that you actually want. So this is just a mindset thing. And a lot of people are waiting for somebody to save them, when in reality, you have no leads in your pipeline, you have no sales calls. How do you even expect to close any clients that way? Next, what I basically did was I started out at $50 per day on Facebook ads and essentially scaled up to 200 and then $400 per day in ad spend. And in that first month alone, I was essentially calling up all the leads. I was taking all the sales calls. And I'll break down the numbers a little bit later. And from there, after 3 or 4 weeks, I basically hired an appointment setter, hired a media buyer, and hired 2 closers to basically scale up. And sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable just scaling that fast. However, I know this offer is proven just from me having a very high close rate on this offer. And what the funnel looked like was basically a Facebook lead form to a JHL calendar. And it was just a JHL calendar, no booking funnel, no VSL, nothing like that. And truth is, I didn't even have a website for the first 3 months of launching this offer. I only have a website now, which you could check out in the link in the description. But the biggest thing is getting leads in the door, and then you're going to optimize the funnel as you go. Even now, we're constantly optimizing our funnels to bring more and more buyers, to bring more and more partnerships onto the platform. And what you really need to do in the beginning is basically have as many conversations as possible and make it as easy for you to set up as possible. And as you start, you're going to start noticing bottlenecks. Hey, my show up rate is very low. How do I increase my show up rate? Okay, you increase your show up rate by content just like this. You'll shoot them out in the pre-call emails, and you'll get them to confirm, and you'll have your appointment setter call them before the meeting to get them to show up and to make sure that they consume all the content. Next, let's say my closing rate is low. Hey, is it a marketing side or is it a closing side? How can you really determine that? And the biggest question I ask is like, how do you watch any of the videos that we sent before the call? If they watch the videos, it's more so the closer's fault or the sales ability's fault of not being able to handle all those objections. And then what I did from there was basically call leads I didn't book, less than 5 minutes to pitch on the phone. I didn't want to risk them never speaking to me at all. Worst case, they can't get on a Zoom call. I'm going to pitch them directly. And because it's a lower ticket item, I could just pitch over a phone. Versus back then when I was selling basically 10K packages for Facebook ads, I had to get them on the Zoom, because they won't just pay somebody 10K if they never know me, right? But with this, I was able to just close over the phone. And I would say 75% of all my deals were closed via phone, no presentation, and then 25% of the deals were closed via Zoom call. And what I did for the phone conversations, I basically double dialed twice a day for 14 days straight. So I would double dial in the morning. The first dial would take it off the ringer. The second dial will go through. And I did that every single day for 2 weeks straight. Now let's talk about some bottlenecks you might face whenever you start your AI agency or whenever you do have a solid offer. If you don't have a solid offer, I'll highly recommend just brainstorming a very solid offer that's productized, because as you scale, you don't want to deal with the fulfillment being the bottleneck. And if you want, you could go ahead and white label us and sell the same offer that we sell. And with that, you'll be added to a school community of how exactly we cracked all of this. So number 1 is going to be a low closing rate. Number 2 is not enough conversations. And number 3 is a mindset. Let's go into low closing rate. So you either, number 1, get better at sales or have a better no-brainer offer. In the beginning, when I first started my agency, I couldn't even talk to anybody. Right? My first sales call, my teeth were chattering. I was super nervous. I didn't know any objection handling, but I just did the reps and I slowly learned every single night. I'll become obsessed with sales. Every single now, I'll run through all the objections that come up in my head and then how to respond to objections. The same thing with the discovery questions. How do I go in deeper to every single question so my clients can understand why this would do better for their business? And with that, one actionable tip is basically memorize all the word tracks necessary in order for the objection handling and also a discovery call. So you need to treat every single discovery call as if it was the last discovery call. And you start implementing certain questions that'll give the prospect to dive deeper into their pain point, and then you'll be able to sell them easier. Number 2 is not enough conversation. So make your ad dead simple. So if you want to run ads, the reason why we're able to close 54 clients my first month is because we have a scalable way to get leads in the door. And with cold emails, I have to warm up my emails for 2 weeks. With ads, I can essentially launch ASAP. If I want to double the lead flow, I double the ad spend. And our main ad, I have more videos on this channel about ads, but it's the call out. What is your niche? So basically attention, plumbers doing above 50K per month. Offer, ranked number 1 on Google in ChatGPT. Unique selling point, no contracts, no expensive retainers. And then call to action would be click learn more down below. Very, very simple ad. A lot of people way overcomplicate this, but in reality, the ad is probably the most simple part. The biggest thing is getting a good offer. So what you need a split test is offer, ranked number 1 on ChatGPT, ranked number 1 on Claude, ranked number 1 on Perplexity. That is the offer, right? Everything else is super simple. And what's more complicated on the back end are the funnels, in terms of like the lead flow, nurture funnels in sequences. Next is mindset. So a lot of people simply do not put enough inputs. And it's kind of like going to a gym. If you lift a 1 pound dumbbell one time every week, only once, you're probably not going to get jacked, right? But let's say we do the 1 pound dumbbell 1,000 times per day, every single day for a year. You're probably going to get a little bit jacked. It's the same thing in business. If you don't have enough leads, if you're not cold calling, let's say you're on a pinch for money and you're not cold calling, you're not doing $200 per day, you're not shooting out any cold emails, you're not spending any money on ads, how in the world do you expect to land any clients by not having enough inputs? Because the world is not crazy enough, the universe is not crazy enough to reward undeserving people. If you have no inputs, if you don't show the universe that, hey, I really want this, I really want to land clients, I want my whole family to succeed, I want to succeed, I want to be financially free, I want to be location freedom, and you're not doing the inputs necessary to actually achieve that, the universe will not reward you at all. And some people have way too complicated offers or too many offers on the line. And the more complex your offers are, or the more offers you have, the more complex your delivery system will be. So instead of focusing on sales, what's going to happen is you're focusing on client fulfillment across 5 different offers that you have. You're going to be barred from doing all the fulfillment unless you hire. So that will be one bottleneck if you have all these complicated offers. On our side, the AI software that we build basically just onboards 2 or 3 minutes, and then your clients will get reports automatically. So that way I could just focus on the sales and the marketing side, and then the AI side will just handle all by itself. That pretty much covers the entire video. If you made it to the end, congrats, because not a lot of people will make it to the end of this video. And I'll attach some link in the descriptions, whether you want to white label us, whether you want to work one-on-one with me, or you just want to do it yourself with the school, or you want some free resources, go ahead and click a link in the description and leave a comment for any questions that you have, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'll see you later.